You'll be able to brag to all your rich friends. Everybody will be impressed except for probably your CTOs because they'll know how the sausage is made. But fuck them, you can always fire them. So recently, I saw Mr. Elon Musk playing Path of Exile 2, streaming on Twitter, and everyone's up in arms. So today I wanted to make a video for the Fortune 500 CEOs out there that are looking to pick up Path of Exile 2 for the first time. So if you're not one of those 500 people, you can leave. So I'll give you guys a second. Okay, so now I have the Fortune 500 CEOs attention. Or $4.99, Mr. Musk is on his way to learning how to play Path of Exile 2. You just bought your first level 95 character off of hardcore Path of Exile MTX money transaction site. What do? I'll be using Mr. Musk's stream as an example throughout this guide of what not to do so you won't get caught and you will appear to the masses that you know what the fuck you're doing. And I'll lay it forth in a 6-step process on how to play Path of Exile 2 after you've purchased your multi-$1,000 character from the hardcore ladder. All right, number 1 is the name. Naming is very important. You need to fool the people. So the name of the character should include either Jungron _ some name, some sort of variation of the class you plan to play. So like Sparky Tatas or Big Bonky Boy, or literally a spam of letters because you're too fucking cool to care. What league are you going to play? This is step number 2. Upon buying a character, decide if you want a softcore or hardcore character. The hardcore character is going to cost you more in the MTX, and it is cool and more difficult to play hardcore characters as you get only one life. Once your character dies, you'll be transferred to softcore, so the character's not gone forever. Nobody gives a shit. Not too many people give a shit if you play softcore as long as you're zooming around. So zooming means, for you CEOs, running through the maps as fast as possible or killing a boss as fast as possible. Solo self-found may not be available on MTX. Keep that in mind. So number 3 is going to be cost. You thought you were done paying for your character. It costs several $1,000s on the MTX store, but you're going to have to open up your wallet again. I'm sorry. Because you're going to have to go back to the MTX store or find someone who's willing to sell their knowledge. You'll have to learn how to play the character as well as basic game mechanics so you don't get caught like Mr. Musk did. Number 4, terminology. You're going to have to learn the lingo. You're going to have to talk like us. Well, most of us. Maps are what Path of Exile 1 players called waystones, or calling waystones in Path of Exile 2, right? This is just an example. If you've never played Path of Exile, just call them waystones. It's not a big deal. People will know what you're talking about. Don't ever say things or thingies or thingamabobbers. Look up your shit. There's a poewiki.net that you can look it up. There's in-game tutorials. Or you can ask a friend or ask one of your fellow CEOs or maybe your CTO of your company who might be willing to help you out. All right, number 5, good practice. Keep your inventory clear, except for a pile of scrolls, a few maps, and crafting currency for those maps. This will fool the onlookers. Make sure you click on only open map nodes to progress through. Mr. Musk screwed this up a little bit, but he kind of figured it out as he went along. Pick up currency, including the following orbs: Chaos, Exalted, Annulment, Chance, Alchemy, and Val. You can leave augments, transmutes, and mirrors on the ground as they are useless. A loot filter may help you separate out what you need to pick up off the ground. I have a video here. I also will post a link below on how to set that up. Control left click to move shit around. To move stuff from your stash to your inventory, vice versa, you're going to hold control key on the keyboards, typically the bottom left one, and you're going to left click, which is on the left side of the mouse. And that will move stuff around. If there's things on the ground, you can just left click it with your inventory closed and it will go into your inventory as long as there's space. This efficiency, if you get this efficiency down, this will really fool the followers. Okay, so now we're on the final step. We've gone through name, what league to choose, how much it's going to cost you, the terminology, good practice. Now we're going to put the mask on. Some of these might be a little bit more, they might be repetitive of previous steps, but I tried my best to separate them out. This will really help you pretend that you know what you're doing in Path of Exile 2. Okay, so this is the mask that you're going to put on. This is number 6, putting the mask on. Don't or means, if you don't know, out of mana. Don't run out of mana. You can't use abilities, thus dealing less damage. You'll be on the boss for too long or killing stuff for too long. You need to have mana. This next part's a little bit tedious. There's some options that you need to turn on or off. You might want to get your CTO of your company to come set it up correctly. Typical ones are landscape transparency. You want to put that down to the bottom. Always show sockets, show life, mana levels, etc. There's a bunch of them. And a dead giveaway that you don't know what you're doing or you're old like me is that your cursor size is large. So if you run a large cursor size, especially with a high contrast color, that typically is indicative of your age. Again, this is a little bit of repeat, but I can't emphasize this enough. Terminology. Don't say things. Use the PoE2 wiki, in-game tutorials, or the Asian kid that you bought the character from. He might be able to help you. And then this is the final thing on putting on the mask that will get you caught is bragging. Usually, you're going to brag over bullshit getting piled on you within the map. So just like too many mobs or a fucking mana drain mob that blinks onto you and then explodes. That typical stuff. You can also brag about killing a boss in a literal second. One of the pinnacle bosses. If you get an insane loot drop. Or you get some like bullshit lag either due to your frame rate or server connection. These are all things that you can brag about, right? Or complain about, essentially. The things that you should not brag about is typically like your level. Nobody really gives a shit what level you are. Maybe in a like a league, maybe like a separate league, like a rushed league. Nobody gives a shit what item level your gear is. Sorry, I can't even say that with a straight face. Or how bad your gear level is compared to your current level. Mr. Musk again, I think he showed his cards a little bit by doing this. So with these 6 easy steps, my fellow CEOs, you can pretend to be one of the top players in Path of Exile 2. Just remember all 6 steps, and this will get you through. And you'll be able to brag to all your rich friends. Everybody will be impressed except for probably your CTOs because they'll know how the sausage is made. But fuck them, you can always fire them. For this free class, this free tutorial, the CEOs, you guys can throw me some money too. I'm not in the MTX store. I'll just PM you my PayPal.